Have here with us Dr. Cairo Ojugbo, who is the factional deputy chair of the PDP. You're welcome to Sunrise Daily.
Thank you. I'm not a factional deputy national chairman. I'm the authentic deputy national chairman of the PDP.
Do you belong to the Ahmed McCarthy faction, or do you belong to the Sheriff faction?
The Ahmed McCarthy people, that are alien to the Constitution, that are illegal, an aberration, and we do not recognize them.
Well, then I'm afraid that we'll have to go with that title, factional, because as it exists, as it currently still is, there are factions. Some people, the other party doesn't even recognize yours as well. They say that as far as they're concerned, you people do not exist. And they believe that so far so good. One of the reasons why they lost the elections is because of your faction, which they describe as moles within the PDP.
Which is most unfortunate. Let me say very quickly that what is happening in the seed of what is happening in the PDP started years ago. And we are saying that this is the time to correct it. Because when things get worse for it to get better. Let me give you specific examples. Number one, since the illegal critical committee came on board, PDP has not won anything. We lost a senatorial election in Imo State. We lost Edo State. We lost Ondo State because of the critical illegal committee. Now, this impunity setup, this critical committee is the continuation of impunity in the party. Do you know what happened in Imo State?
Let me get this straight. Do you recognize the other members of your party? So, for instance, do you recognize the current governors of the PDP in the PDP?
Of course, very much. We recognize them.
Are they your members?
Of course, they are our members.
But they do not recognize you.
No, it's not true. It's not true. Have you heard any governor that has come out to say he does not recognize us? No. Quote any of them. Go and check the press. We work with all of them. You see, what is happening in the PDP, and let me make it clear. And I will go, just excuse me to go back a little bit. In the run to the 2015 general election, I'll give you one specific example. Imo State. The party, Impunity, they decided that the entire three-man ad hoc committee members to elect the candidate of the party should be given to one man. The man produced the entire list. He went with the list to the congresses. He failed. Somebody else, Ararume, let me call his name, defeated him. During the Congress, he was crying that Ararume was giving people the 7 books of Moses to take oath before they go and contest the election. We told him, if Ararume is giving them 7 books of Moses, why don't you give them 20 books of Moses? Eventually, he lost the Congress. He came back to Abuja. The party reversed the decision of the people and gave the ticket to the same man that had lost in the field. Ararume left PDP, went to APC. We lost Imo State. My dear sister, I appeal to Nigerians, to the entire world, to look critically into what is happening in the PDP. Look at it in the courts. Let me also tell you this. What happened in Edo State, in Ondo State, a lot of our members couldn't believe it. So they went to court. Because when they saw the way things were being hushed up and everything, because of inexperience, some of them wrote very stupid and frivolous petition to the tribunal. Of course, the sitting tribunal, they felt very angry. They changed them. They brought another one. The party, when we saw what was happening, because we were not aware of the petitions, we have written to apologize to the presiding judge of the Court of Appeals to say, look, we were not involved in this petition and we dissociate ourselves from it. So we have appealed to the Court of Appeal and to the Supreme Court. Not to get angry with what our members have done, but to look at the issues critically. Look, do you know, in June this year, Justice Mohammed, he ruled a sitting and uncontested judgment that the tenure of the current NWC runs to 2018.
Just wondering, though,
and that is the truth of the matter.
Do you accept the outcome of the elections in Ondo?
Oh, very well. Let me tell you, if the illegal people, if they say they are going to contest it, we will advise, by the grace of God, we are hoping that very soon the courts will decide who the chairman of the party is and who the authentic owners and the persons who, because as of today, we hold the certificate of registration of the PDP. And look, possession and ownership, they might be erroneous, but they're almost synonymous. And let me quote you also. By the grace of God, that the courts rule judiciously and expectedly, and we are returned properly, we are going to advise the candidate not to go and waste his time, waste the court's time, to go and start appealing that judgment, the processes. Because Mimiko, his governor, has congratulated the candidate.
Who do you recognize as the candidate, as the PDP candidate in the elections?
In Ondo State.
In Ondo
of course,
State.
The person who went through the thorough process, 6 of them contested it. In the Mimiko's faction, there was no contest. Jegede was returned unopposed. And that is where the party called the governor. Sir, this candidate that you are bringing through, we have nothing against him. He's from your zone. There is an acknowledged system in Ondo State. You know you're Yoruba, you know how Yorubas behave. You know they're very enlightened.
How do they behave?
They're very enlightened. They take things very seriously. They keep agreement. So the party said to him, our dear governor, this candidate you are bringing is from the same zone that you are from. It is now the turn of this zone. Go either to the south or to the north. Pick anybody who will cooperate with you. Of course, that didn't happen.
So you do not recognize Mr. Isaiah Jegede as a candidate of the PDP?
No, because we didn't produce him. No, the party didn't produce him. And we are praying to God. And then we are appealing to their excellencies, the Lord Justices, not to take what has happened, the petitions that some of our people have written, not to let it becloud their judgment, to look passionately at the cases before them, to look at the merits of it. Because we, the people of the party, the National Working Committee of the party, at all turns in these affairs, we have obeyed the courts. The court in Lagos by Buba and the court in Mohammed. They said, look, don't go on with this convention. We didn't. We withdrew from it in obedience to the court. And these people, they said, look, impunity as usual. What led us to be losing, even till today, they continued it. And let me tell you, if we don't stop it now, this party will go under.
Yesterday, yes, you called for unity.
Yes.
You called for reconciliation.
Exactly.
And one would have thought that your rhetoric towards the other faction will be a little more conciliatory. But today you accuse them, of impunity. You accuse them of not listening to, of not obeying court judgments. You have all sorts of accusations against them. How do you think this will further the call for reconciliation which you made yesterday?
Thank you very much. Spare the rod and how do they say it? Spare the rod and spoil the child. In calling for reconciliation, we are mindful of the rule of law. We are mindful of our past current history. We are mindful of the way we want to go forward. So in telling them that we want them to come back to the house, come back and then let us reorganize, sit down as one persons of the same destiny. Come back with a task of uniting the party. We must at the same time tell them the truth. That we are stating the obvious does not mean that we are saying that we are not going to consider reconciliation. For instance, Adede came out to say, we are going to expel this, we are going to expel that. He doesn't have the right, but we didn't say so. What we have said is this: we are all members of one party. We have all sinned. We must all come back as one and look at this party properly. Because the task of the PDP as a major opposition party is huge. And the president and the APC, they need us for them to survive. And Nigeria needs us for democracy to triumph. Otherwise, we will create a monster that everybody will regret at the end of the day. So we are appealing to McAfee because, to me, I look at somebody like McAfee, I used to have serious respect for him. If you see what happened in Port Harcourt, yes, I used to. In Port Harcourt on the 1st of May, on the 21st of May, when there was a problem between Sheriff and the governors, 4 people were invited to come and take over the leadership on a critical committee basis. I'll give you names. Tommy Kidney was invited. He turned it down. Girigiri was invited. He turned it down. 2 other persons were invited from Borno State. They turned it down. But they called McAfee. McAfee accepted it. One would have expected that he will listen and that he will obey the party.